Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Jason Cappuccino, and today we are going to be talking about the Miss Universe Philippines girls and their potential crowns. Okay, so before we start, let me just preface muna siguro yung conversation, no? That this is not to discourage or to think of the girls that they are limited only to these crowns. So I will be discussing 10 girls that I feel that are crown potentials, and that they are probably going to be the 10 girls that I feel have the chance to become the next Miss Universe Philippines. So let's preface that and contextualize it in that manner na lahat ng mga girls na nasa 10 listahan ko, potential na pwedeng maging Miss Universe Philippines. And what I'm going to do is to discuss what other titles kaya yung pwedeng nababagay sa kanila aside from the Miss Universe Philippines title. Okay? So, before I start with the 10 girls, I also wanted to talk about a couple of ladies that I feel na ang laki ng potential to win. However, I think that there's still some areas that needs to be worked in terms of performance, in terms of communication skills, perhaps, or even stage presence. So the first lady that I wanted to talk about is si Marian Arellano from Tarlac, who I feel that because she is still quite a newbie and this is a world that is still new to her, medyo hilaw pa when it comes to the way that she delivers, her answers, the way that she communicates. I know that coming into a competition like this, mas kinakailangan hasa and mas diplomatiko, mas well thought out yung mga sasabihin mo. And I think that Marian still needs to finesse the way that she delivers an answer, the way that she speaks. Next is Adela May Marshall, who I feel that mas kinakailangan pang magkaroon siya ng stronger na pasarela. I think that's one of the areas that she really needs to work with in terms of her overall performances. Dahil yung area na kinakailangan suwabe, malinis yung mga turns, malinis yung mga facial transitions, at saka malinis yung lakad, yun yung area na needs polishing pa. I also feel that her body is really very suited for modeling, but for pageants, you need a little bit more muscle, a little bit more curvature in order for you to fill out the swimsuits well. So, with that being said, I am hoping that these two girls would surprise me and would potentially become one of the 7 girls who are going to be the runners-up and the crown winners come May 2nd. But I also hope that yung mga ibang girls na hindi ko nabanggit would surprise me as well by doing better than expected. So, now, let's talk about the 10 girls that I feel may chance na magka-crown. First off, I would always start with Roxy Bay of Baguio. Sa lahat ng mga girls that I feel maraming potential na manalo, I think si Roxy yung may pinakamaraming pwedeng isabak mo na pageant. Whether you put her at Echo International, whether you put her at Charm or Cosmo, I think she can be molded and she can be suited well to those pageants. Hindi maikaila that Roxy represented the Philippines at Miss Earth and was Miss Water during her year in I feel it was 2021 or 2022. But if you put her at Echo, very aligned yung crown and with the advocacy ng pageant for her. However, I feel that she will be more suited with Miss Charm or Miss Cosmo. The reason for that is because I felt that Roxy has this ability, to charm people, to win people over for her. And hindi rin maikakaila that she's one of the girls who has really strong presentation skills, really strong pasarela, and has good stage presence. So when it comes to performance na level, I think Roxy can win over the judges on that part. I also feel that Roxy would be best suited at Miss Charm International because she is naturally charming, and you need that kind of charm in order to win over the judges and win over the people of Vietnam, to win over the people who you will be working with in the organization. And I think Roxy, being trained as an actress, has that innate ability to win people over. Now, next is we have Cebu City's April Smith. This is a little bit controversial kasi I've read on the comments on my socials that ilagay nyo na lang si Roxy, ilagay nyo na lang si April sa Miss Eco International para back to back sila ni Alexis. I find that a little bit very boxing in of what April can provide. Kasi when people will always think na hindi siya pwede sa Miss Universe Philippines dahil she's black or because of the color of her skin, that's a little bit racist in my opinion. I feel that we should be celebrating the fact that there are more diverse Filipinas joining Miss Universe Philippines, and I feel that April has a wide berth when it comes to the ability to fit into the molds of the Miss Universe Philippines na crown or the Miss Supranational na title or to the Miss Charm or Miss Cosmo na mga titles. So, let's stay away from boxing her into lagyan niya na lang siya sa Eco International because for me, I personally feel that if Miss Universe Philippines is not for her, then she should be sent to Miss Supranational because she has performance, stage presence, she knows how to flirt with the camera, she has all that skill set that she can bring into the competition in Poland. Now, let's talk about Cebu Province, Nicole Borromeo. I feel that lately, Nicole Borromeo's energies has dipped down and I feel that kinakailangan may ibalik niya yung energy na yon back come May 2nd because she needs all everything in her arsenal in order to compete with the other girls in the competition. I feel that if Miss Universe Philippines is not for Nicole, she would be best suited for Cosmo or for Charm International. And for me personally, I would rather see her at Miss Cosmo International because it looks like kapag binibining Pilipinas winners ang ipinapadala natin sa Miss Cosmo, medyo maganda yung mga placements natin. And case in point na lang si Chelsea Fernandez who almost clinched yung win last year. So I feel that Nicole can bring, a more lighter na dimension if she joins Miss Cosmo International. Now, let's talk about Bea Windorsky. I know that a lot of fans have earmarked her for the Miss Universe Philippines title, and I agree with you guys because I've felt and seen her perform in the interviews, in the evening gown competition, the preliminaries, and the swimsuit preliminaries. And if in case na hindi mapalad that she wouldn't be given that title, I think that the best bet for her is the Miss Supranational Philippines title. She needs a little bit more finesse, I guess it's the right word, a little bit more finesse and polish on the way that she performs on stage, her pasarela, because there's still a little bit, rough edges to her performances that I feel that over time can be perfected pa. In terms of stage presence, she has all that. In terms of physical beauty, the face, the body proportions, she has all that in loads. I think that she is a complete package in that area. But I think that the weakness is still on the way that she walks. And this is something that I've observed among American girls, even for Filipino Americans, na may mga kinakailangan pang ayusin when it comes to the walk and the stage presence and the finesse of gliding on stage. I think that is the area that Bea still needs to work on. Now, let's talk about Justine Felizarta. Justine, for me, is one of those dark horses, and I feel that she might clinch a win and surprise us all come May 2nd. And if in case that the Miss Universe Philippines is not the crown that is destined for her, I am feeling that she would do well in either Miss Eco or Miss Charm International na mga pageants. Although I am also bookmarking her for a potential Miss Cosmo International na title. And the reason for this is because if you look at her performance, she's very suave. And I've been telling this for the past several weeks na iba kumana si Justine, hindi forceful, pero kapag tinignan mo on its own, it has merit. Hindi siya over sa performances kapag naglalakad siya on stage. She communicates really well. And if you look at her interview, medyo mahina lang yung last question, yung answer niya sa last question niya during the closer interview. But if you look at the entirety of her interview, the questions before that, she really is delivering well and smart, intelligent, very well-spoken yung pagkakadeliver niya. The content is there, it's meaty, and hindi siya yung tipong mapapahiya ka kapag you send her abroad because she has already proven her worth. you will not be a Super Bowls winner if you don't have the ability, to walk on stage and speak on stage, because the Super Bowls is not just a competition on fitness, but it's also a competition on the ability to be an ambassador for the brand. So if anything, I think Justin deserves one of the titles come finals on May 2nd. Now, let's talk about Nueva Ecija's Michelle Burchell, who I think is bubbling under for the longest time among the girls in the competition until nagpasabog siya during the closed door interviews, during the swimsuit competition, and during the preliminary evening gown competition. And it is that kind of consistency of building up what you've achieved in the previous na stages of the competition, na unti-unti kang umaangat doon sa consciousness ng mga fans when it comes to performance, that I feel that Michelle can be a potential winner come finals night. What titles do I see her? I think it will be easy for her if she is sent to perhaps Miss Cosmo International or Miss Charm International, because I feel that there is where she would shine best. She is a slow burn, if that makes sense to you guys. Kasi nafe-feel ko that hindi mo siya mapapansin, pero as the competition goes along, unti-unti mong nakikita that she has been bringing it at every stage of the competition. So, pagtuunan natin ng pansin, because if she's not gonna end up with a runner-up position, she's probably going to end up with one of the titles later on. Now, let's talk about Alison Hetland. The mere fact that she was named Miss Bench earlier this week tells us that nakatutok ang mga sponsors sa kanya, and it is always a good thing, because I think if you look at Alison, her height being the tallest in this year's batch, aside from that, she's also one of the girls who can communicate adequately and sufficiently. She's one of the girls who has great body proportions. I think napapansin yon when it comes to a possibility to be sent at a competition like Miss Supranational in Poland. Why do I think that she's going to be a great rep for that? I know that there's still some areas that needs to be worked on in terms of the pasarela, in terms of the stage presence. I think there is a kind of finesse that needs to be learned when it comes to connecting with the camera. That's one of the areas that I feel Alison still needs to work on. I mean, being able to detect where the camera, what camera is recording, have eye contact on that camera, and deliver while having that eye contact is something that you learn through experience. And if Alison is able to manage to hit every mark on the recording, especially on video, I think she's going to do well at Miss Supranational. Meron pa bang oras na linisin ito? Of course, kasi si Kat Ligado naman ang ipapadala natin this June or July for Poland. So she has a long year preparation where she can finesse yung mga areas. She can polish and perfect yung mga areas that she needs to work on. I do not see her in other particular na mga titles, kasi I feel that the other titles might be too soft for her, because we need someone who have strong physicality, strong stage presence, and strong pasarela when we're picking someone to be sent at Supranational. Okay, next we have, of course, Sultan Kudarat, Generals Javier, who I feel is one of the prettiest ladies in the competition na hindi masyado napapansin ng mga fans. Maybe hindi na nakikita that this is a face that I would love to see at Miss International or even Miss World. Ang ganda kasi nung korte ng mukha niya. She's one of the face cards na kapag nilagay mo sa Universe, International or World, swak na swak. Walang pipiliin na title for her among the alpha pageant titles. And I know that this is controversial na I'm looking at outside na mga titles for her from the MUPH na mga franchise of crowns, but I feel that there is more to her that can be developed. There's still more, more potential there that needs, to be brought out and be active, when it comes to pageant participation. Should she win and make it into the top 7, I of course see her as a potential Miss Universe Philippines, but I also see her as a potential Miss Cosmo International winner. Kinakailangan siguro lang na ipakita niya yung connection when it comes to to fans, when it comes to engagement. I think yun yung nakikita kong area na medyo mahihain pa, or there's a certain, certain Filipina reserve na attitude when it comes to, being in a pageant. But in time, you develop that ability to put yourself out there. I think that is, one of the things that the veteran ladies in the competition are able to do so in such a very organic and natural na manner. And I think yun pa yung kinakailangan na tawag ito na ma-develop kay Jen Rose. I think that confidence to put yourself out there, connect with fans, connect with people on social media, connect with with people who are talking, posting about you. I think yun yung area that needs pa to work on. But do I see a winner on her? There is a potential there, strong potential. And if in case that Miss Universe Philippines does not work this year, I think the best thing that you can do is to, develop all those skills in Binibining Pilipinas or Miss World Philippines later on, and build yung community, build yung fan base, so that come time that she would, if she would like to return to Miss Universe Philippines later on along the line, meron na siya nung mga kumbaga mga bala na dala-dala. Okay, next is one of the girls that I am so impressed when it comes to communication skills, and that is Tacloban's Jacqueline Buller-Rajani. I know that a lot of fans might not see her as a potential Miss Universe winner, but I do. I really do. And I feel that this is one of the girls that kapag pinahawakan mo ng mic, delikado na lahat ng ibang girls, because she can perform when it comes to the closed-door interviews, when it comes to the Q&A, final Q&A. And if the final Q&A is a barometer of who's going to win later on and what title they're going to win later on, I feel that Jacqueline easily could be one of the girls na can be considered for the top titles. So aside from MUPH, I see her at Miss Charm and Miss Cosmo, and even Eco International. I think yun yung mga areas that she could really do well internationally. Why did I not particularly earmark her for Miss Supranational? It's because Supranational is very physical, very stage presence. And if you're going to charm people with the way that Jackie does in her, interviews and all, I think the titles of Echo, Miss Cosmo, and Miss Charm are really perfect for her. Now, last on the 10 list of ladies that I want to talk about is Taguig's Isabella Ismael. Bella, as she is popularly known, is one of the girls that I really feel is perfect for Miss Universe Philippines. Now, if in case that Destiny medals and does not give her the NUPH title, is there any other title that I feel that's particularly perfect for her? For me, there's no other title except NUPH and Miss Cosmo International. I think that Bella has the charm, the wit, the the extra X factor that would be appreciated whether it's at the Miss Universe stage or the Miss Cosmos stage. There is something about Bella when it comes to posture, when it comes to royal bearing, that trumps other girls. And this is not, to underscore the gifts, the physical assets that the other girls have. But I think Bella, with her, maturity, with the way that she went back to Miss Universe Philippines after a hiatus of 5 years, she has experienced the world in such a manner that is, I feel, holistic for a woman. And in terms of yung winnability na factor, kahit saan mo siya ipadala, I think she's going to do well internationally. However, I feel that if MUPH is denied her, ipadala na lang siya sa Cosmo, because I think she will do a great job as an ambassadoress for the brand. I think she can take the Miss Cosmo International na title and make it really global, because here you have a one of a kind girl that is very very Italians nowadays essentially, and I feel that there is a leveling up of the brand that will happen wherever she is put in, whether it's MUPH or it's Miss Cosmo International. She is able to elevate the image of the brand, higher. Now, before I wrap this up, I've been hearing that there is a possibility that the finals on May 2nd, the Miss Universe Philippines would only announce the second runner-up, the first runner-up, and the Miss Universe Philippines na winner. I feel that the rumor that magkakaroon ng ibang special na event that is allegedly scheduled around May 2nd, May 10th, a week after the crowning of the winners, would highlight yung mga other franchises that they have. I think that is going to be a good idea so that magkaroon naman ng sariling crowning moment yung mga other winners. But I also feel that it will feel anticlimactic for fans of, most of the girls who are expecting that all titles will be awarded that night. So, whoever is going to win, the other titles, I do hope that hindi masyado malayo yung coronation nila or the announcement nila, because once that you've already crowned a Miss Universe Philippines, I am fearing that the fans would necessarily be just focusing on the new winner rather than the other titles. So, mas lalong magmumukhang secondary titles lang yung Miss Supranational, Miss Cosmo, Miss Charm, and Miss Echo. So what I would suggest is crown them the day after or 2 days, 3 days after para hindi naman ganun kalayo yung crowning nila, so that it does not feel like it's an afterthought. So I do hope that whatever the organization would choose, mabigyan din ng highlight yung mga other winners later on. And I do hope that come finals, may the girl who has the best performance, who deserves it, who has earned it, wins. Because this is going to be a bloodbath, if I'm not mistaken. Magkakaroon talaga ng tawag ito, ng mga roadblocks. As I've heard is, come finals, only the top 6 ang pagtatalunan na, because the 7th spot is going to be guaranteed for a sponsor winner. So, yung mga girls na tawag ito na eliminate, may chance pa na makapasok sa semi-finalist and makapasok sa top 7. So, vote if you have the resources and support the girls that you feel has or vote for the girls that essentially you are supporting. Okay? So, I think we are going to end the episode in that note, and I do hope that should we have another episode prior to the finals, supportahan nyo kami. I'm still making some arrangements with Mark to have a live stream perhaps, or a recorded episode prior or after the crowning of the new Miss Universe Philippines coming second. Okay, so that's it guys. Have a great day, and see you again soon. Bye everyone!